Hi folks, it's Evo here from Thundermist Lure Company, and we're going to take a minute out of today's episode to go over some basic functions that are going to help you on the water. And one of the questions I get asked a lot is as far as holding rods and position of rods. And your position of rod is very, very important while you're fishing. And there's a few simple things you could do. I know this rod's got a nice cork handle here, and you might feel obligated to hold it there in that position, but that really is a poor position. I picked up a rock there. Is a poor position to hold the rod because it gives you less leverage for hook setting. Now, if you hold it up front here, it gives you a little more power. If you're rip jigging, you can rip jig like so, and that's really good. But some people with bigger hands might have a tendency for the bail to hit your knuckles, and sometimes that's not fun. So one of the best ways that I like to hold a rod is basically in between those two fingers. I like to slide the seat of the rod right in there like so. I put my thumb on the cork of the rod like that, and then now I'm ready to fish. And once you've done that, the first thing you should always do when you're out in the water is check your drag from the time before. And that's too loose right there, because when I'm fishing I want to have that drag set tight for the hook set. So I'm just going to tighten up on that drag. Still a bit loose. There, that's about perfect. It's not totally tight, and you don't want your drag all the way totally tight because then you've got no give at all. So I've got just a little bit of give, which will allow me power to set the hook, but it'll also give so it won't break on me when I'm setting the hook. So always check your drag, and once you've got your drag set and you're fishing, as soon as you catch a fish, what you're going to want to do is then lighten up on the drag, because you don't want to keep it that tight while you're fishing. So you just lighten up on it, and that will allow the fish to take your drag, less pressure on your line, and you'll have a better chance to catch a fish, just like that. There's a bass right there, folks. And so I'm going to lighten up on my drag right now. And one of the most important things to do when you're fighting a fish is to always keep your line tight. And I need a net. You never want your line to go loose. So if the fish swims towards you, what you have to do there he goes, he's peeling drag. So if the fish swims towards you, you have to take up the slack. Oh, there he goes. Okay. That's what happens when you let your line go loose and you're playing around trying to get a net. But what you want to do is you want to make sure that you always keep your line tight as you're fighting the fish, because once the line goes slack, they got a chance to spit the hook. And as you can see there, when I lost control of that fish, he spit the hook. So very, very important to do that. And you might, back to the rods just real quickly, with this cork, you're going to say, well, why do I want a rod with a cork handle? Well, this cork handle is very light, and it's very light, which means all day comfort for casting. Whereas those EVA foam handles, they're a little heavier, and these are made for all-day casting. Those foam, the black foam handles, those are a little more durable if you're fishing a lot off the surf or from shore, or if you're putting a rod in a rod holder and it's taking more abuse. That's when you'd like to use the EVA foam. But for all-day casting, you can't beat the cork. Anyhow, folks, I sure hope that some of those tips will help you on the water. It's a great day out here today, and we're going to enjoy it, and I hope you're enjoying your day. And I'd like to thank you for tuning in to today's episode of Thundermist Fishing Tips, and as always, until next time, good luck.